Hey guys and gals, how's everybody doing? Sorry I haven't posted a video in a while. I had the flu last week and weekend. I was down for about 4 days and didn't feel like getting off the couch. So finally back up and moving around this week. Been thinking about uh, modifying this Gretsch Nick 13 guitar a little bit. The tuners seem to work really well. They're just the generic tuners. They work okay, but I've got some I like a little better. They're 21-to-1 ratio. They should just be a nice drop-in replacement. Hopefully, if they are, I'm going to put them in. If they're not, I'll keep what I got. While I'm at it, I dug out. Forgot I even had this little roller bridge, and I think that roller bridge would work really nicely with this Bigsby. Um, I've also got a Tusk nut, and there's nothing wrong with this nut on here, and I really don't want to destroy it, but I may see if I can get it off in one piece and put this Tusk nut in here instead. So let's see what we can do with this thing. Okay, so that bridge is not going to work at all. Uh, I didn't look at the size of those posts, but there is no way those are going to fit in there. So my other bridge fell off, so I'm going to have to track it down. This had 9s on it before. I really think it needs 10 to 46, so I'm going to swap string gauges while I'm at it. All right, got it all strung back up. Got my bridge reset to the right height. I'm not 100% sure. I could run it lower, but I don't want to get carried away with it. I kind of like to have a little bit of space. Helps with the sustain a little bit. Cuts down on rattle when I'm playing hard. These tuners work really well. Those old tuners worked pretty well. There wasn't really anything wrong with them, but man, these 21-to-1 ratios are nice to dial in. I like the way they look too. They got kind of a cool look about them. Nut went in okay. Pretty close to the right depth. I hit them pretty quick with my diamond nut files. Got them set about right. We'll see if that has any impact on tuning stability when I use the Bigsby. I wonder what these tins will do too. The tins might affect tuning stability some. I don't know. I don't know that the string gauge is going to have any impact on it. Having that roller bridge would have been really nice, but it's man, those are tiny little studs. I could have popped these old studs out of here, but then I would have had to fill the holes and re-drill them for these smaller studs, and I wasn't in the mood for all that. What I've got right here works really well. If I could find a drop-in replacement roller bridge, I'd put one in there, but I'm not going to go to that much trouble to fix a problem that doesn't really exist. So when you get a guitar, I actually did a setup on a guitar for a guy today. It was a Pile Strat body style with double humbuckers. It's a nice looking guitar made in China. Worst tuners I've ever seen. He was having trouble. He couldn't get his B string to hold tune, and I couldn't get the tuner to even operate. It was boogered up pretty bad. I had one that looked just like it that I'd pulled off of a cheap guitar a while back, so I just swapped one out for him. And what I told him was that's one of the main places they cut cost on cheap guitars is the tuners. So if you're having problems with them, swap them out for something better, and don't just get the $20 set off of Amazon. Go ahead and get something that's actually going to work right. These were actually not very expensive. These Geikers, they were more expensive than $25, but they weren't Shaler expensive either. And they're 21-to-1 ratio, which is I wanted something that was going to give me some finer tuning capability. So that's a good upgrade on most cheap guitars or import guitars. This isn't necessarily a cheap guitar, but it is an import guitar, and they just generally don't put a lot of money into the tuners. I don't personally care for locking tuners. I've got some. I think the Fender locking tuners are great. They work great. They're just kind of an unnecessary feature, in my opinion. I don't have any trouble getting these strung up where they don't slip and they stay plenty stable. So let me know what you think. If you haven't, please like and subscribe this video, and I'll see you next time. Okay, I decided to go ahead and find a roller bridge. It was a cheap one off of Amazon, Music Lily, I think, which is probably the cheapest of the cheap you can find. But it was a drop-in replacement, and so far it seems to work really well. And it's improved the tuning stability on this Bigsby. That and the Graph-Tech nut seem to have made a world of difference. It's just a matter of returning back to tune after you use the trim. I may upgrade to a better one at some point. This one was cheap enough. I just wanted to try it to see how it worked, and I'm pretty pleased with the results.